A shitty wizard appears while you're going about your day. He asks you some questions and won't let you run away. Would you rather have a finger growing out of your cheek or have no skin on the bottom of your feet? Would you rather have laser vision or turn invisible? Now make a decision. Shitty wizard flying through the air. Shitty wizard magic everywhere. Shitty wizard you just can't compare. Shitty wizard learning to care.
Hello, and welcome to another classic Streamy Dreams with the Shitty Wizards.
Is it a classic Streamy dream?
Well, actually, now that you've brought that up.
Look, we need to talk. But first, I'm Laurel, your shitty usurper host.
I'm Caitlin, your regular shitty host.
And I'm Adam, sitting here wondering whose lead to follow.
Doesn't matter. Look, we need to talk. It's not you. It's YouTube. It's actually us. No, it's actually you. I'm sorry. But this is over.
I like how you're panicking. Clearly panicking.
Look,
you had something,
breakups are hard!
You had something in mind, and you started going,
and then I bailed.
And then you bailed halfway.
What are you trying to say, Laurel?
It's over. It's over, guys. This relationship just isn't working out. We need more and less. I'm afraid this is going to be our final episode. For now. We will still be completing season 2 as well as plans for season 3. What?
What?
Oh,
Already?
secrets. Oh my
They've
goodness.
already announced a season 3?
But I suppose we're taking a hiatus of sorts.
For the live streams.
For the live streams. Specifically. And we'll be moving those on over to... You'll still be able to listen to all the previous episodes on the podcast.
Yeah, so they'll stay up on YouTube for a while until we release season 2, and then they'll all be available on the podcasting platform of your choice. If you don't know, this show is also a podcast, and you can subscribe to it on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or like whatever. It's up there, and you can listen to it. Yeah, so the live streams are going on hiatus, and but it's for a good reason. Mm-hmm. It's because we're going to be hard at work animating season 2 and season 3.
Yeah. Turns out cartoons are a lot of work.
Yeah, and we could not get fucking blood out of a stone with the interns this year.
Unfortunately, as it turns out.
So we're going to have to just buckle down and do it ourselves.
Yeah, we ran out of half of them died during the Magical Girl Laurel saga, so now we just need to do it ourselves. Oh wait, no, all of them died. They all died.
No, I thought you saved them.
But then they sacrificed themselves to give me power.
Right,
the power to finish season 2!
So canonically speaking, this all makes sense.
Yes.
It's like we planned it, but we didn't.
There's a box of your stuff outside. You can come collect it.
But, so since this is our last stream for the foreseeable future, we have something a little bit special planned. We are going to take some calls from fans with their Would You Rathers. But that'll be a little bit later in the show.
Hold on a second.
It will?
Do the fans that are calling in know that this was the last stream for a while?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm not.
Because I was going to say, if we just broke the news to them and then gave them a phone to call us to yell at us, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Hey guys, why don't you call us on the next episode? By the way.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Not a complete moron, Jesus.
Bomb drop.
Anyway, did anybody prepare Would You Rather?
What? You told me they were gonna do it. Okay. I got one that's sort of half baked. It's not the one from last week.
Really, just no selling the shit out of it right off the bat.
Like, you know, they say go out with a bang, but here at Shitty Wizard, we like to go out half-baked.
We like to go out al dente. That's a fancy way of saying it. Some people like their pasta that way.
Just kind of chewy.
Yeah, just with a little bit of crunch and just enough. I actually hate al dente. Okay, would you rather live in a world where everyone has has tiny hands and tiny feet. And by tiny, I mean like, so the width of your hand wouldn't be, like if you've got your
Okay.
fingers all spread out, the width of your hand would not be any wider than the narrowest part of your wrist.
Yeah, okay. So basically, if you were to select your hands in Photoshop,
Yeah.
what percentage would you scale them down by?
Like
I would
50%?
scale them down to, not by. I always hate when people word it that way because that's not how it's. Anyway, I would scale them down to, I'd say 50%. So
Okay.
half-size hands.
Half-size hands.
Would you rather live in the world of half-size hands, where everyone's way cuter but also a little less?
Are cuter.
Well, if the whole world's like that, that would be the norm.
Have you ever seen those gross little mini hands that you put on the end of your fingers and they're the fake little hands?
Yeah.
They're the worst. So when you say cute, I disagree wholeheartedly.
No, they're super cute.
The thing that I'm wondering...
You basically have cankle wrists with fingers on them.
Right. So, like, the palm of your hand is, like, narrower than your wrist?
Yeah. Well, it like would
Just a
taper
little bit.
accordingly.
Right.
So it's like your wrist continues the taper that it naturally has.
Gross! So then you have tiny little... Your forearms
They
get all
bring-
gangly and weird at the end.
But they got little fingers at the tips.
Your hands would be so fragile.
No, that would just they'd probably be sturdier.
Because they're proportionally holding more weight.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be able to hold the same amount of weight as you would now.
Well, you wouldn't be able to hold the same. Like pencils would be thinner, I imagine.
Which is irrelevant to any of this.
Well, like things in general, everything, all your tools, all your household tools would be about half the size they currently are.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
they would have to be, otherwise your wrist would fucking shatter when you use a hammer.
It wouldn't shatter. Children can use hammers without shattering their hands. I know this for a fact. But yeah, everything would just be, I think it would be cuter. Anyway,
Or
would you rather live in a world where if you get knocked down or hit with, I don't know how to measure force.
You get up again.
What?
I'm gonna keep you down.
No, you split into two.
oh, so
You
if somebody hits you hard enough, you split into two.
You split into two.
Is your consciousness in both of them, or is it
Yes.
a different person?
Can you merge back into one?
Will I allow this? I'd say it's possible.
You have to have
But
sex
it's-
with yourself to merge back together.
Let's say it would be the equivalent of like a really serious surgery, but it would be like magic.
So there's a possibility you would die.
It's dangerous.
So
It's like,
are you
what's
like
the most dangerous kind of surgery you can get?
open heart surgery?
How dangerous is that? Like, is it like a like a 50-50? Okay, let's say it this way. 60-40 split, 60% chance you'll live. But that's still a big chunk that you'll die trying to
Yeah,
merge
that's
back together.
huge.
Is this only if you get knocked down, or does this also count if you slip or something?
That's what I was kind of
we
getting
live in
to.
Canada, and black ice is a thing.
Like, if you do one of those, like, silly slow slips where you go, like, "Ugh," and then you put one knee down and then touch your hand, you're not going to split. It's got to be a full-on, like, fell on your back.
Right.
Or an equivalent force. So, like, if you get hit by a car,
Right.
but, like, not so much that you die, but, like, let's say the car hit the brakes, but they still kind of hit you. That's probably going
Right.
to split you in two.
You like go up onto the windshield.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. One of those. But two of you will.
So
One of you dies.
Do you split into two full-sized versions of yourself or two half-size?
I'm going to say you get a little bump. So you're not 50% of your current size, but you do get a little smaller.
Right. And then, now, so there's two of me. If they get hit with force, did they also split into two?
Yes.
How far does this go?
It goes all the way down.
All the
It
way
turtles
down?
all the way down, baby.
But you have control of yourself and the copy. But I would imagine that
Yeah,
would be
so like
difficult.
if you get to the point where there's like a swarm of you because you've been hit so many
A
times.
swarm
You're
of
just
How
like-
often are you getting
Going
falling
around
down
picking
and getting
fights.
Can
hit?
you imagine a swarm of Caitlins?
That's exactly what I sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you get to the point where there's like more than two, is it like one consciousness that's controlling both, or are they all independently?
No, it's one consciousness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, I'm going with that one.
You don't want tiny hands?
Fuck
I mean,
that.
the population is going to explode. But in a way, you can also kind of safeguard yourself. Like, the more you split, the
Yeah,
more,
well,
lives you have,
but if
essentially.
one
Like,
of
if
you-
one of them dies...
Well, hold on a second. You just interested... You added an interesting aspect. Okay, hypothetically speaking, if I slip on ice and fall flat on my back and I go... And I split into two. And I go, okay, well, I can't handle this double consciousness thing.
I
and
see
I
where you're
don't
going
want to
with
do the
this.
surgery.
I see where you're
Can
going
I
with
just
this.
kill the copy and then go on as if nothing happened?
You can. I would say because... I would say the world has not adapted appropriately, so it's not like they have a system in place to give you each an identity when you split.
Right.
So if nobody sees the split and nobody sees you, like if somebody sees you murder them or somebody finds the body and like can tie you to it, then you will go to jail for murder.
Well,
but
hold
let's
on.
say I would say it's a lot easier to get away with murder when nobody knows the other person exists.
I don't know if that's necessarily... I realize it's your question, but I don't think that's how it would work, because to me, the way that
That's not your call.
No, I know.
This is how it works.
Because for me, the way that I'm picturing it is, you said it's one consciousness piloting these two things. So it's literally like saying, if I have two cars and I want to take a baseball bat to one of my cars, I go fuck that car up all I want.
Technically, in Canada, suicide is illegal. So killing a part of yourself, even though it's your consciousness, still against the law.
But nothing is... Well, then you have... See, now we're getting philosophical, because if the consciousness still exists, is it really death?
Is it a crime to chop off your own arm?
Because, I mean, I'm serious. If your consciousness still exists, did death really take place? All right, everybody, break out your philosophy text.
I would say in this world, it is considered a crime to... It's not quite at the level of murder,
it's
but it is a
mine!
crime. It is a crime.
I would think...
I should be able to do what I want with my copy.
I would think that if you had split your consciousness into two and then you killed half of it, you're just gonna get dumber.
I mean...
So like
You're definitely gonna keep getting smaller.
You're just gonna get smaller and dumber every single time.
How many times would that have to happen to you where you're like, I can't afford to get any smaller?
Yeah.
I can no longer reach the doorknob.
Right, yeah.
I can't get any smaller.
But by that stage, there'd be like 10 of you, so you could just...
Well,
pile
not if
up.
you're murdering them every time.
Right, yeah.
Also, I guess the smaller you get, the less likely you are to get hit.
Well,
Eventually, you're small enough that you just start standing under the car as it drives over you.
Well, my
Right.
other question is how often are you motherfuckers falling down?
Well, like, never.
Yeah.
All the time. There would be so many of me, and I would be so tiny because
Do you really fall down?
I fall a lot.
What the hell are you doing?
Playing sports.
Well, that's your first mistake.
Yeah.
Also, just getting hit.
hit
The
by
past
what?
2 games, I have taken about, I'm standing a foot away from the person kicking the ball, and they're kicking that ball right into my face. And that's happened, the past 2 weeks in a row, and my face hurts so much.
I think they're trying to tell you something.
Don't stand in the way of my kid.
Okay, so here's another question. If you existed in this world, would you continue to play sports?
I could, but see, if I get hit enough, I could be my own team.
That's your own stupid small team.
Here's what I would do. I just thought of this now, and I kind of am breaking my own system. Split into 2 once, you got 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous. Split into 2 again, you can have those 2 people try to do the surgery. If they die, all right, I still got 1 body left. You know, I would probably let myself get to a certain smallness and then be like, okay, we have enough of us, we can take the risk
Right.
of trying to merge
Like
back together.
60-40, you've got 10 of you now, and you're
Yeah.
like, 4
Yeah.
of us are gonna die.
And the way that I'm viewing this is the equivalent of trying to make a spell work and say D&D, you roll a dice, you have to get above a certain thing, and then if it doesn't work, you just burst into flames.
Yeah.
Alright.
Basically. Yeah, so that would be kind of my strategy. But again, if I just get unlucky rolls and now I'm just left 1/10 of a laurel and I'm the only one, I'm gonna be like, okay, maybe less sports.
Right.
Would you still be able to play soccer if you had tiny hands and tiny feet?
Tiny feet too?
Actually, I wonder
She
if
said
that
tiny
would.
hands and tiny feet.
It
Or
would
would the
certainly
ball be
make.
smaller?
It would make the ball would probably be smaller because everyone's got tiny feet. But I don't know.
You're just kicking a tennis ball around.
And then the goalie's stopping it with his tiny hands. That would be so
Got a
cute. See,
tennis
the world
racket.
is better with tiny hands.
I don't know if I agree with that.
But think about how cute it would be. Someone's passing
I
you
don't understand this cute thing.
Someone's passing you a coffee with their tiny hands.
I don't see how...
They stroke your hair with their
No,
tiny hands.
don't! Don't ever! I don't care how small your hands are.
The look of disgust on Caitlin's face made me wish there was a camera in the room.
Don't you touch me with your dirty little hands.
Creepy little jam hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that,
They're just
jam
always
hands.
sticky.
Why
Are
are they sticky?
I see. The reason why this is bothering me, I think, is because I am picturing little kid hands, and yeah, they're always sticky and gross.
Are they also like kind of fat like kid hands?
No.
Ooh, well that makes it even worse.
Well, I mean, the shape of your palm is slightly different. Because it's, like, tapered.
Right.
Man, I hate both of these.
Good! That's the whole point of Would You Rather.
There's a part of me that wants to go with the fall down one and then just live a very Wall-E-esque lifestyle where I'm in a fucking chair all the time. Can't fall down if I'm sitting down.
Oh, you just
Yeah.
break your legs and be like, alright.
I can't even think of a time in the last 10 years where I've been hit with enough force that I feel like I would break in two.
But keep in mind, it's not just you. This is the world you live in.
Oh,
So, like,
right.
UFC
So
would
the
be
population
really weird.
is very unstable.
Everyone's just going around murdering their clones. It's just bodies piling up.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, it's a crime, but most people probably, like, it's hard to catch the person.
Right. I feel like it would just happen all the time.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty commonplace, but it's one of those, like, it's like back when smoking weed was illegal.
Right.
It's like everybody's doing it, but some people are getting caught and it's technically a crime.
Yeah, it's like Fred next door has a weird amount of holes dug up in his front yard, but nobody really cares.
Yeah, they kind of just let it slide.
Yeah.
Until one day someone's just like,
Listen,
gotta fill my quota, you're getting busted.
Yeah. Listen, Fred's got a bum knee. Shit happens. You can't afford to feed all those mouths.
And it's not like, yeah. I don't know. I could go either way on this. I do like.
I
I
thought
feel
you
like
were.
The wonderful world of tiny hands sounds like fun, but I also want to have like a team of me's.
But can tiny feet support your weight?
Well,
If
they're
you go-
magical tiny feet.
They're not that tiny. They're half the size they currently are.
That's still.
That's fucking
pretty
small,
tiny.
dude.
But I mean, like, if I just like cut my foot to here.
I don't think you would be able to walk.
No, I don't think so either.
But if they're magic tiny feet,
If
People
you,
can stand on nubs.
That's true.
I guess so. Yeah. That's
I
true.
would definitely be less coordinated. I'd probably fall more, so it's a good thing I don't live in home.
Stubbing your toes, they would all just shatter.
Why do you think the bones have gotten more frail?
Because they're smaller. You listen, it's
I don't know. Like you got some pretty small bones in you. That doesn't mean they're gonna break.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
now you've got pretty small bones.
yeah, and they're pretty fragile, like your nose bone and your baby toe and all that stuff.
Your nose doesn't have a bone.
But they're not just.
Well, it's got the it's
But
cartilage.
it's not like they're
technically.
the
Fair
same
enough.
length but thinner. It's
It's
like they're getting
cartilage.
proportionally smaller, so it's not like there's more ply.
Yeah, I guess I was picturing the small bones as just cartilage.
So weird that your brain went there.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I'm not a doctor. I don't need to know this.
So which way are you leaning?
I don't know. I hate them both. I really hate it. Because here's the thing, right? This is my thought process at the moment. I don't like the idea of small hands and small feet. It creeps me out. And I'm
I wonder why.
and I'm convinced that it'll be more fragile.
Weirdly, but I accept this.
However, the falling down thing sounds worse, but there's no guarantee you will have to endure that. If you live a life around being precautious because of that.
Well, like Caitlin said, she can't remember the last time she fell down or got
Yeah,
hit.
the main thing for me is the other people.
Yeah.
Like, if there are double the amount of people, even just on a regular day, if there are double the amount of people in my life that I have to deal with, I would probably murder half of them.
What do you,
Well, what if you murder someone's half, but their consciousness is still around, so they're still technically alive?
Well, here's the other problem. Oh man, you could. Weird. You could make like a fucking murder business where you just make copies and be like, murder my copies.
Oh, weird.
You
Yeah,
get
that
so
would be like a
tiny,
new
though.
fetish.
Yeah,
get so
you don't do it
tiny, though.
forever. You just do it to make a little extra scratch.
Yeah,
and-
you're getting bank per
yeah.
Right.
character.
But so I guess so. My thought process was the chances of you having to endure that are not particularly high if you live your life based around it. But as Caitlin mentioned, that's not taking into consideration everybody around you. So what do you do if fucking Matt falls down and there's two Matts?
Kill one of them.
And eat them.
Obviously.
No, I just had a way worse thought that I'm not going to say.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Let me just say I would make the most of it.
I
Now,
want to fist bump you right now, but I'm not gonna. That was the fucking great. You couldn't have answered that better. You couldn't have answered that.
You know what? I'm starting to reconsider this world now.
you could
Dude.
take that to the umpteenth level where you knock Matt down 10 times, and now you've got 10 house slaves. Just like
Yeah,
coming apart.
because that's what she was insinuating.
Plus the other thing, I'm saying now you've got like a maid, a cook, and a however many buddies you want.
Fuck yeah, that's hilarious.
You're basically a queen bee.
Yeah, right. Caitlin convinced me I'm going with the copy.
Yeah, I can see the benefits to Copy World now. Now that you put it in that light. Fuck tiny hands.
Wait, fuck tiny hands or fuck tiny hands?
Both.
Alright, fair enough.
Oh,
Shall
man.
we then?
Yeah, sure, okay. Do you guys just want to
Talk amongst
Talk amongst
ourselves.
ourselves.
yourselves for a minute while
Hey,
I
Adam,
get
how you
this
been?
ready?
Tired.
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would make that better?
Tiny hands?
Yeah.
No. Because then I wouldn't be able to hold a big coffee.
But you look so cute trying.
I don't understand. I don't understand why people think small things are automatically cute.
Well, for me in this particular instant, it's not just the fact that they're small. It's that. Oh, this is mean. It's that it's like somewhat disabling. Well, because it makes you more like fumble. You're like, I can't. I'm trying to do stuff with my hands.
So what
all
you're saying is
moving.
you can't act cool and smooth with tiny hands, which makes it cuter.
Like, you can't be an asshole and have tiny hands.
Oh, people would find a way.
You try to give someone the finger with your tiny
With your
finger.
tiny little baby finger.
Like, fuck you. I don't know. I would say, like, there's definitely a correlation between, like, things being small and things being cute. But it's not just, like, scaled down
I
small.
get-
It's like that. It's the proportion thing.
No,
It's like the fact that they're small compared
I get that,
to the
but
rest of you.
I've seen people, if you're out at a knick-knack store or, there'll be, like, tiny tea sets.
Yeah.
And people be like, oh, that's so cute. And I don't get it.
Well, it's
I
our,
don't
like,
get it.
it's our animal brain being, like, small equals baby.
So it's a baby tea.
Yeah. So immediately you go to, like, this is a baby teacup. And so I have to take care
When
of
I
it 'cause
see
it's a
small
baby.
things, the idea
Or
of
eat it, one of the two.
Yeah, or eat it. Yes, I don't know. Small things make me think of insects. I guess that's why I don't like them necessarily.
Okay, we have our first caller.
Oh boy, how do I? All right.
I can hear my own voice and it's off.
Yeah, don't worry, you won't have to listen to it for long.
Now you know what it's like for the rest of us.
Guys, I'm so sorry.
Hello?
Hello. Can you
Hello.
hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, that's great. So we have Corbin on the line.
Hi, Corbin. Thanks for
Hi.
making sure things don't get very shitty on the Discord.
No problem.
So thanks for joining us here on Shitty Wizard.
Woohoo.
Do you have a would you rather question for us?
Yes. So, would you rather have prehensile hair all over your body
Ooh.
that you can control, but it falls out really easily?
How easy?
Or,
Like, could
Uh,
like, if I pull on it at all, will it come right out?
yes, a slight tug.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
Or, all the hair that you have on your body currently comes to life and screams every time you try to cut it.
Well, definitely the first one. That sounds like way more useful.
Wait, how long is the hair? Is it like the same length as the hair I currently have, or is it longer?
For the first one, it's a Bigfoot hair.
Big hair.
No, I mean like, yeah. For the second one, it's
so you're
your
like
hair
a
right
Yeti
now.
person.
Does it? So if it falls out, does it grow back or is it just gone?
Oh yeah, it grows back, but
Okay.
it falls out really easily.
Does it grow back at the rate that hair normally grows back?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's also so. Wait. So you have long hair all over your body. So like your arm and leg hair is all long.
Yeah, you're like a Bigfoot.
Yeah, but you could just pull out if they're easy to pull out. You could just pull out the ones that are places you don't want them to be.
I guess
You
so.
don't even need like wax strips or razors anymore. You can just pull
that's
those
true.
suckers right out. That's actually better.
Well, okay, so Corbin, thank you very much for your would you rather. We shall discuss it.
Right?
Oh, do we have music
then-
that we put on?
No.
We don't get his answer?
I can get him to call back later. It's just weird to like have to listen to ourselves all the time.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So-
this is so.
So-
we clearly have this all worked out.
This is.
It's
Caitlin-
like
Caitlin didn't tell us how this was gonna work.
Oh, okay. I told them how it was gonna work. I didn't tell
Okay,
you.
okay.
I figured it would be like radio call-in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we
No,
take
that
the
makes
question
sense.
as anyone.
Ah, yeah.
Like Frasier, which apparently nobody else has seen because I kept saying, "Have you seen Frasier?" And they're like, "No, I haven't seen Frasier." Who hasn't seen Frasier?
I mean, it was a show from the '90s, my dude.
Yeah. These are all Zetters.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hate to
that's
break
true.
it to you, we're old now.
Millennials are old now.
Yeah. I'm actually struggling with this one because obviously having prehensile hair. So
Super
I will just say, as the hairiest person in the room, I thought that it was with the body hair that you have, it was prehensile. In which
Right.
case I have an edge because I have more than the rest of y'all.
Yeah.
But no, we'd all be
No,
like
we got-
Yetis.
So
We got it.
that evens the playing field. That being said, there's something about the idea of screaming hair that is inherently funny to me.
Yeah, I don't know if that would bother me if I was cutting my hair if I heard little screams. It would kind of be fun.
It would be like satisfying, right? You'd
Yeah.
be like every time you shave your legs, you'd be like,
I could finally get like my murder urges out without going to jail.
That's what video games are for, Laurel.
Yeah, but now I've got like a real world experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
VR, you can suck it.
you could like cut other people's hair and it would be the same.
I think actually I have well, there goes my brain. Where am I? What's happening?
You
I have an
have
advantage in the second one as well because, societally speaking, I'm allowed to be hairy as a man. It's still frowned upon, I assure you.
Well,
As-
so you would never cut your hair? You would just let it all
No,
grow
I mean,
out?
I would still, my head and beard I would, but...
I would say arguably you get more haircuts than we do though.
Yeah, you
Because you gotta trim your beard, you keep your hair short.
Yeah,
It's true.
like I get my hair cut like once a year.
I trim my bangs a fair bit.
I could just let my hair grow out.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. But your beard,
Yeah,
Would you
I'll fucking, I'll be that, well, there goes my brain again. Where am I? What's happening?
I would
come on, stay on the ball.
Dear God.
beard, Jesus. I would argue that being a long-haired, long-bearded man is probably on par with like women who don't shave their legs.
Yeah.
As far as society is concerned.
Charles Manson. That's what I would
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So you would just like start a cult and then murder some people?
No.
The
Honestly,
hair makes
listen,
you do it.
as somebody
The
with
hair
long
did
hair,
it.
I had a long beard and long hair at one point, and it is mad fucking uncomfortable.
And all the shampoo you have to use.
Yeah.
And it's not getting any cooler out, so...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, God. Yeah, but the fact that you can just pull it out where you want it to
No,
be gone.
this is the screamy
The
one.
screamy
Oh,
hair,
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would not be bothered by the screams.
I guess it depends on how loud they are. If the screams are proportionate, so if they're little like... But if it's
Tiny
the...
head screams.
Tiny hair screams.
Oh.
But if it's the equivalent of an actual grown human screaming bloody murder at the top of their
Like
lungs...
every single
For
hair.
every hair,
Yeah, but
that
you're
would...
cutting them together.
Oh, we should have... we didn't get a chance to ask him. We should have asked him this. I wish I thought of it sooner. Does it only happen when you cut it? Can you pluck them? And it doesn't.
I would say it would probably scream. It might even scream more because you're...
You're technically
It's
not
like-
killing it. You're just removing it.
Yeah, that's true. It would keep screaming.
You're not slitting its throat. You're breaking its legs.
on the floor of the bathroom or whatever. It's like, ah!
But then you should just throw it down the garbage chute and it's not your problem anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, get some noise canceling headphones.
Yeah,
Get the
just
kind
put
that
some earplugs
construction
in.
workers use and go to town.
I mean, I think my answer is the prehensile hair, because that sounds fun.
It's
It
also
does
like,
sound fun.
okay, I'm assuming that you're the only one with this power.
I guess so, yeah.
It's not like everybody has prehensile hair.
No, it would just be the three of us. We'd be
Then
like
you can
the
get
Yeti
away with like a
friends.
lot of cool. I would draw a face on the back of my head and then I'd just have my hair split and be like, eh.
And then you have the hairs push your scalp meat so it looks like the face is winking.
Yeah! Fuck yeah!
Yeah, and
Like,
like,
be like a Medusa.
I don't know, I just can't really see like a use for it.
You can hold all your stuff.
I guess so.
Think of all the hotkeys you could press at once.
You could caress Matt with your leg hairs.
Yeah,
I already
like you've
do
always
that. What are you talking about?
Fair enough.
I mean, it would be like having a, extra hands.
But like hair, even Yeti hair is not that long.
I mean, you could let it grow.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but like it would have like a terminal length.
True. I think
Like Yetis aren't just like cousin it with like hair all the way down to the
True.
ground.
I think the other issue is that that we didn't talk about is if it's coming out easily, you're shedding everywhere like a fucking cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like anytime you scratch or like
You're gonna have to stop wearing black, Laurel.
yeah,
Ah,
if your
damn
clothes
it.
like pull on you at all, it's like it's coming out.
Damn it.
Scratch your ass.
Would it
too
keep
hard.
like kind of writhing once it comes out? Be like,
It'll like snake, like worms,
Yeah, like
or snakes or
worms.
something.
Oh, you can
or like a
still
lizard tail.
You can still control it when it's off you, so you
oh, I
just
should
knock,
have asked him that.
and then you just have it swarm somebody and
Because
crawl
then I
into
could
their
just be
throat.
like, I just grab each side of my head and like rip out my hair and throw it at someone and go like, snakes! And then they just crawl all over them. How horrifying would that be?
Snakes! There's the snake lady again.
Like every day, Laurel, every day.
We can do it too. It's not impressive.
Well, I wouldn't do it to you guys. It would be wasted on you. I
It'd
would
be,
do it to strangers, of course.
it'd be cool if you could like make like a big rope or something out of your hair and then like control that like a snake.
Oh, yeah, neat.
We just like make a whole another you out of hair and then
It's only slightly different than the me now.
yeah.
Just a couple less eyelids.
Stupid, terrible human body.
Stupid flesh body. I hate you.
Transfer my consciousness into the pure hair body.
Well, if you're controlling it, that's essentially what's happening.
Kind of, sort of.
Mm.
Man, I still can't. The screaming hair thing, I just keep picturing this scene where it's just like a dude standing there and then he puts a hair trimmer into his pants to fucking trim his crotch hairs and you just hear, ah! And like screams and it's the funniest thing to me.
He's putting it down his pants.
What an idiot! Take off your pants!
Take off you can't even see what you're doing, man.
You can't spare a minute to do it
Even
properly!
better. Even better. I'm thinking this is a comedy bit. I don't know. There's just something about screaming hair.
Are you
mixed with junk trimming. That's so fucking funny to me in my head.
Dude, you do not want to cheap out if you're gonna be trimming your pubes. That's not where you cut corners.
You don't want to put a blindfold on and then just go to town and hope for the best?
That's not the place where you want a bargain shop. Do it right.
It's my first time doing it. I'm nervous. I don't want to look. It's like getting a needle. Oh no.
Oh no. It's all gone.
It's all
It's
gone.
all gone. I'm not talking about pubes anymore. I'm talking about his hands. They're all gone too.
He cut his hands off somehow.
Yeah, he missed horribly.
He's got no legs anymore.
If I were to bleach my hair, would it scream?
I don't think so. It's just if you cut it.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is with the cutting of the hair and the screaming, it raises a lot of questions. Like, is the hair actually alive, or is this the equivalent of, you know, those greeting cards that you just open it and it triggers a sound effect?
Right.
Is it like that, or are they living? In which case, if they're living, what other sensations can they feel?
Oh, you're getting into the morality
Yeah, and
of
like,
it.
No, not the morality. It's my hair. I'll do what I want. I don't care if it's alive or not. And you could, but
But like cutting your hair doesn't kill it, so you'd really just be like maiming it.
yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. So it's not straight up murder.
How long do you think the screams last? That's
Well-
something we definitely should have asked.
And then on top of that, hair naturally falls out of you.
I think those ones are like, they died in their sleep, so they probably don't scream.
Yeah.
If you pull them out, it's the essential, like, it's essentially ripping their throat out.
Yeah, yeah,
But if they just, like, die,
yeah.
then that's fine.
It would just be very noisy. Like, it's already unpleasant enough to get a haircut.
What? I cut your hair. I thought you liked it.
Is it annoying because you're getting your hair cut, or is it annoying because Laurel did it?
Well, that was good. That haircut was fine.
Nice try.
Nice
Way
cover.
to pull up.
Jeez, I'm right here.
That was an okay haircut, but generally,
Yeah.
You don't
Going
like
to
getting your haircut done?
no.
I used to
I love
until
it.
they started, like, sometimes you get a hairdresser
So there's your problem.
that gets needy. They're like, what's all the gossip? Tell me your life story. And I'm
No,
like,
you
I don't
need
want to.
You need a guy. Haircuts get better when you have a guy.
Yeah,
Maybe I should go to a barber.
Well, no.
Cut my bangs.
And I don't mean a guy literally like a man. I mean a hair
Like a-
person.
Oh.
Because I go to the same lady every time, and she's awesome.
Right, you need to get your cutter.
Yeah, you need to get up.
You need to find your match.
Yeah.
guess so.
And then it's just like a fun little spa day.
I don't know. I just started cutting my own
I'll just get Laurel to cut my hair.
hair. Yeah, it's over.
Okay.
They had their chance.
Laurel's
I
your guy?
tried. I'm your guy.
Yeah, you're my guy.
If you don't want me to talk to you, I won't talk to you.
I don't know, because like I hate the small talk of going to a hairdresser, but it's also weird when they're not talking to you because you can see them like in the mirror, and it's
Doesn't
like,
bother me one bit.
really?
You guys are overthinking the fuck out of a haircut.
Yeah.
We've had some traumatic experiences.
I've really built this up in my head.
I had a hairdresser talking to the hairdresser next to her as she shampooed my head, talking about how much she hates it when customers don't want to talk. And I'm just like,
Okay, that's weird. In your defense, that's weird.
yeah,
I
it was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm like, I brought a book. I don't want to talk to you.
Mm.
Just spent all the time telling me about it. She's like, I got 2 kids. I'm like, I want to die.
kill me.
See, that's why you need a hair person. You get a good one.
Yeah.
The-
Yeah, but like this, you have to try so many duds before you find a good one.
Yeah.
And
And
It's
what
like
if they're-
dating.
And what if they're a great person, but they got shitty haircutting skills?
yeah, that's true.
They don't cut your hair right. They don't know what you like.
It's
I guess it's
this
just
is
like
just dating.
It's just dating.
It's dating, except money is exchanged at the end.
Or I could just
So like
get a haircut.
dating?
I don't want to date,
not
and I don't
touching
want to go to
it.
the goddamn hairdresser.
I don't want to date, and I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I will just die alone with long hair.
Look, I got out of both of those things so early. Stop getting my hair cut professionally. Stop dating like immediately. I'm just like, I'm done. Done
Now that
forever.
they have self-checkout at the grocery store, I was like, my life is complete.
I love self-checkout. It's the greatest. They have it at Shoppers now too, and I'm like, I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't want to. Download my consciousness to the internet. I'm out.
Truly, truly, the peak of humanity.
Yeah. is not needing it.
I'm gonna go with the screaming hair.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Because to me, that's just the world I live in now, but
Yeah,
it
I feel
gets
like
noisier
I'd
when I
be
cut
too
my hair.
hot if I had a bunch of Yeti hair.
Yeah.
I already get so hot.
And it's like you said, you only get your haircut once a year. So even if it's super annoying to have those screams, it's like, well, that's once a year. That you
I do
deal
have to
with it.
shave my legs regularly though, so
You
but
should wax. Get them lasered off.
yeah, that's true. I could just do one and done.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to. It's just really expensive, and I haven't had the
How much is it?
it's thousands of dollars to get your whole leg
Oh.
done.
Oh, to get
Lord.
your legs
To get
done?
your legs
Yeah,
done.
it's probably a mint.
Yeah, I just haven't had that push that where I'm like, oh, I have to do it now.
But it would be so nice.
But if I had to deal with screaming leg hairs every single week, then I'd be like, all right.
Let's
Time
do
to start saving. Take a
Yeah,
loan
take
out.
my credit card.
Let's do this.
All right, shall we take another call?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Also, thank you, Corbin.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I still just can't get over the idea of screaming hair is just endlessly funny to me, and I cannot figure out why. I think it's because I grew up watching The Simpsons and the Homer
Do
scream.
you picture them having little mouths when they scream?
No.
Like the tips where you cut them just go like, "Ah!" It's like you let the scream out by cutting the cord.
Okay, so our next caller is Tater Sauce.
Yo.
Just waiting for the call to come in.
Waiting. Watch, you called them right when they went to the bathroom or something.
Classic.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hey, Tater Sauce. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh,
Oh, that's better.
should I should I call again?
No,
No,
you're
you're doing
good.
good.
You're good.
Here, we just need to be quiet, because
All
when
right.
we talk, it messes up.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a would you rather question for us?
I do, but I gotta ask you. You asked us to come up with a name for Chew Girl, and then you never picked one.
Oh no! Okay, well, we'll pick it now.
What are our options?
Wasn't Claire an option?
I think so. I think it was Claire, Taylor, and Celia.
Claire the Chew Girl.
Taylor the Chew
Taylor
Girl.
the Chew. Taylor the Chew Girl has a nice rhythm
Yeah,
to it.
I like Taylor.
Yeah, because the name Taylor, when I hear the name Taylor, I always think of somebody who's kind of poshy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to me, I that's what pops into my head, and then so that sounds like the kind of job a Taylor wouldn't take, but this Taylor took it. So what kind of Taylor is
This
this
Taylor fell on
Taylor?
bad times.
Oh
or
my
hard
God.
times.
Yeah, I want to hear this. I want to hear this person's story.
Okay, yeah.
It's so
all right. Taylor the Chew Girl. Was there was someone else we had to name too?
No, we already
Oh,
gave
the-
Monty a name.
The guitarist at the end of the
Oh, dang.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I'm gonna
Sam.
All right, well, I guess it's Sam now.
No. All right, I mean.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I'll-
give him a cool.
What's that?
Sorry, guys. We'll be back in a sec.
What's happening?
Oh, I just gotta restart this.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, it's fine.
I can
Don't
still
worry
hear
about it.
Tater Sauce's keyboard.
keyboard loud.
Okay, we're back.
No, I'm just saying we can still hear you, so it's not like you got cut out. It was just our.
Sorry, just
Okay.
a minor audio hiccup.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna give him a cool name like Bradley. Or,
Bradley's a cool name.
Or
Chester.
Chester.
No, Chad's already got so many connotations to
What
it.
about Tad?
Just a tad?
Tad. You want to pick something like fiercely Canadian?
What's a really Canadian name?
Don't ask me.
Something like-
Adam.
Adam's.
I think Adam's pretty Canadian.
Well, listen, I was raised Catholic, which is where Adam came from, so
Yeah.
I think it's more Irish Catholic than it is Canadian.
Yeah. About Sean.
Sean.
Sean's pretty Canadian.
Yeah, Sean's pretty Canadian. What's the name of that Canadian actor from How to Train
Keanu
Your
Reeves.
Well, the kid from How to
Yeah,
Train Your
Keanu,
Dragon.
the super Canadian.
Oh, Jay Baruchel?
Yeah, Jake's is Jay
Jake?
Canadian? No, Jay.
Oh.
I don't know.
You're getting Slack messages.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
We have
Yeah,
to
let's
wrap
go with
this up.
Sean.
It's Sean.
Sean, it's Sean.
John.
All
All
right.
right.
Give us your
The
rather.
wiki.
Give it.
Okay. Would you rather have to relive high school for the rest of your lifespan? So, like, on the last day of senior year,
I would
you're a freshman.
be dead.
Yeah, no to that one. What? The other one better be bad.
Very real bad.
Or would you rather every company you'll ever work for the rest of your life is 14 except you?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
I know it probably would be awful, but there's a tiny part of me that's like, 14-year-olds, they don't...
Remember that Adam, his wife, doesn't work for Tin Man. It's gonna... You're, like, ruining everything.
Oh, no, I would destroy... Oh, right, because it's just, like, if I pick it, Caitlin and Adam don't get to be adults. They turn 14. Oh,
But
no,
do
14-year-old Caitlin is such a shithead. I don't want to know.
Do we still work here?
Yeah,
though?
you still work
It's
here.
just child labor?
It's just child labor.
Oh.
It's shitty wizard magic that doesn't matter. You just have 14-year-old level experience, so you're shitty at the job.
Oh!
See, me at 14 wouldn't be too bad because I was a really quiet kid that wanted to be invisible, so you would just
Yeah,
never...
you seem like you would have been...
Yeah, I would have just gone out of my way to fucking not, like,
I know for...
don't look at me, don't talk to me, I don't exist.
Which is fine by me. 14-year-old Caitlin, though, I know for a fact is a shit.
I was insufferable, yeah.
Yeah. I'd punch you in the neck day one. I need to, it'd be like prison rules. I gotta, like, assert my dominance over the 14-year-old, so I just come in and go like, I'm not taller than you. Punch, 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 punch.
I actually would have been taller than you still.
Yeah, you still... Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst thing about teenagers is that some of them are still bigger than you.
Yeah,
so
like,
I
I
can't
pretty
even,
much
like...
finished my growth spurt by the time I was 14.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was just very gangly.
Ugh. So, wait, so you would have sprouted before 14?
Yeah. I was pretty much done by the time 14 came around.
With you being stuck in the high school loop, are you high school age or are you aging normally?
No, you're high school age, but you...
Do I get to
you're...
die eventually?
Yeah,
Well,
you
you-
still die at, like, 90.
Yeah, it's like keeping track.
Okay.
Right.
Well, at least there's an end to it.
Well, okay, if you're stuck in high school for essentially the rest of your life, does it repeat in the sense where, like, your memory gets wiped?
No, you know that you're in a loop.
Okay.
So
is
if
it...
you know that nothing you do is ever really gonna matter, you can kind of just fuck off.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. Does this Groundhog Day rules in the sense that, you know, so I can be a real piece of shit one year and then it loops back and it's just...
And, like, high
I don't
schooler,
have
you
a
still have
criminal record.
you can still have, like, a part-time job. You still have money.
And is it like the people in the high school, are they the same every single year? Is it like new classes coming through?
I'm gonna say yeah, but the thing about like fucking off and just like, oh, it doesn't matter because I can punch my teacher because it's Groundhog. You live with your parents, so even like when I was 14, I couldn't do anything in trouble. I hated being in trouble, so even if I was
Well, I was thinking more
like
like,
nihilist,
could
living
you could
it.
just, like, stop going to school, couldn't you?
Well, yeah, but it's...
Oh, yeah, but your parents would get involved eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, the implication here is how much agency do you really have when you're in high school? It's not a lot.
yeah.
I skipped a lot of school when I was in high school.
But, where
Yeah.
did you, but
My parents had pretty much noped out of the situation by the time I was like out of high school.
Yeah, weren't
so-
you living on your own by senior year?
see, I had parents that were involved in my life, and I lived in the boonies, so I couldn't go anywhere. Where am I gonna run to? The fucking farming field? Like,
Yeah, that's my main gripe is that I would be back in like my shitty old hometown.
Yeah, you'd be stuck.
Yeah.
I'd still be here. I mean, it still might be preferable than to having to work with 14-year-olds.
Yeah, because
Although-
remember that your boss is 14. He tells
oh,
14-year-old.
Our boss
right?
is 14.
I do not.
yeah, Brett's like, I want flaming skulls in every episode.
Actually, that might work for Tin Man.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that Brett would have been just as insufferable as me when he was 14.
We literally have 3 different series going on right now that have flaming skulls in them, so that's pretty accurate.
Even more stuff would get reassigned to Caitlin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he would just give you all the work and play Fortnite all day.
Like, all I wanted to do when I was 14 was play Final Fantasy 7.
Well,
That's all you need to do. You just, you're done.
I feel like when when everybody at Tin Man turns 14, you guys are in your 30s, so it would be like what you cared about when you were to have their own like GeoCities website.
I would have my, like, Sailor Moon shrine.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I love how you know we all had GeoCity sites.
I would still be trying to cut my hair like Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the ways.
You know too much.
Yeah, I was about to say I felt very called out with because I definitely had one. It wasn't even themed. It was just a garbage pile of shit that I liked.
Yeah. Oh, I got my MySpace to autoplay Green Day.
Nice. Oh man.
I'd still be drawing shitty fan art of, I don't know, Digimon.
Yeah.
Rewatch Escaflowne.
Escaflowne.
Such an underrated show. Yeah, oh man, but I feel like by your like 5th round in high school, depression would probably start to hit you pretty fucking hard.
Yeah, like the Groundhog Day guy was pretty depressed by the end of it.
Yeah, wasn't he like trying to figure out any way he could to like off himself?
Yeah, but, like, he came round in the end. He got all, like, zen by the end.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, there was like a part where he was trying to kill himself every day.
Yeah.
And got really good at everything. So you could just like go through all of that. You could become become like a prodigal genius
Yeah.
I think
in the 11th time in
you
high
would be
school.
really
You could be like, yeah.
So I think I found a way out of your loop.
Oh God, what'd you do?
And it's not in a way that you win. It just means you don't have to do it. So in Groundhog Day, when he kills himself, it just restarts the 24-hour cycle. This cycle is a whole year. So if you kill yourself on the first day of the year, it's just going to go through the rest of the year with you dead, and then you'll come back at the bidding. And so you just do that 90 times and then opt out, and then you're done.
I'd allow
Does it go
that.
through
That
the
doesn't
whole
sound
year?
good.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't win. It just means you don't have to do it.
Does it go through the whole year, though? Like, I feel like that's cheating. Like, I feel like if you killed
Yes,
yourself,
it is
you would
cheating.
just, like, start and it would be, like, the next day.
Well, even if
No.
it did go through the whole year, perceptually, since you're dead, it would still feel like you just jumped back to...
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just wake up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Oh, but
you
you'd
only
wake
have to
up
do
a
that.
year later.
Yeah, exactly. So you just skip
Right.
the thing. You just do it 90 times, and then you're done.
Oh,
And
I
again-
see. You just
Right.
so you essentially
No.
live for 90 days
I'm not,
and then.
and I remember I.
Oh right, you're running out the clock.
Yes,
I
you're
get
running
it.
out the clock, and I preface this by saying it's not in a way that you win at the end. It just means you don't have to do it.
Right.
I don't think I'm gonna allow.
Oh, he's
No,
he's
yeah.
no.
Overrided.
Damn.
You just go to
Deny.
the next day if you murder yourself.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you just wake up and
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure your parents would like catch on and make you stop killing yourself.
Like, now listen, son.
Now listen.
You never let me kill myself.
I'm holding it for a
You're
friend.
like, you're never allowed around knives.
Your room's all padded. You're like, can I at least have a bouncy castle?
Okay,
It's
I'm
like,
gonna
it's
end
just
the
a
call
phase,
before the audio
Dad.
cuts out again. But
All right.
thank you for your question. We will continue to discuss it. And yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Sweet, bye. So
Bye.
we have more information this time.
Well, yeah, because we kept them on a bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope
Sorry,
you got all your
Corbin.
questions out.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we're right near the end of the episode, so we basically do have to make a decision. And for me, I do think, you know, teens can be a lot, but I think we're over-exaggerating how bad teens can be. I've met
They're
some,
also super insecure, so.
yeah, I've met a lot of really great teens, and maybe they can teach me how to be good at Fortnite.
Also, I feel like a hostile takeover would be a lot more conceivable if your boss was a teen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they physically can't stop you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, that's
Look, I can drink, motherfucker. That means I'm the boss.
I think you're underestimating how big 14
No,
year olds are.
I was literally about to say, yeah, they're 14, not 4.
Yeah.
There's some pretty giant fucking 14-year-olds.
Like, and I was also very athletic when I was 14, so I could probably outrun you.
Yeah, so if I were like, I can overpower you, 14-year-old Caitlin, you would just Sparta kick me through a window. You'd be like, take that, old man.
At least I can vote. I'm gonna vote against 14-year-old employees next.
I think I would rather go with the Groundhog Day high school thing.
Really?
Yeah. Because,
You don't want to hang out with 14-year-old Laurel?
not really. No. I feel like she would be boring as hell.
Oh, that's so mean.
You don't seem to be very fond of Australia, so you would just be stuck there. You'd be fine with that.
Well, I mean, that's the downside, but the upside is that I would have, like, zero responsibility.
You would have so much time to play
I would
Final
have
Fantasy
so
VII.
much fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, I like reminisce about all the time that I used to have back then. Like, you know, like going to school was like and the other thing that you need to understand is that I did not have a bad time in high school. I had a perfectly fine time. It's not like I wasn't bullied. I wasn't like, I didn't have controlling parents. I wasn't like overly concerned about like getting good grades. I like coasted through high school. I had like the optimal high school experience where like I would go and it was fine. I would hang out with my friends and then I'd go home and play video games for like fucking 8 hours a night. It was
Nice.
like being on vacation.
Yeah, mine was a lot of just not going to school. It wasn't bad, but it was. But I don't want to be stuck in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was like, oh, this is hell. It was more like being adult's gonna be so great.
Mm-hmm. For me, I did definitely get bullied really bad, but at the same time, if you put my adult brain in teenage Adam, that would not go the same way.
Yeah, because like you can only really get bullied when you actually care about what other people think about you.
But it's not only that, it's now, one, I would put myself into better shape so I could, you know, if somebody's like, I just punch him in the throat. And then nobody will fuck with you if you do that once.
Yeah, trust me, I did it in
Yeah.
high school. That's why I didn't
You
get
won.
bullied.
Yeah, you put one bully in the hospital and nobody will cross you. And then on top of that, you know, I'm not as anxious as I was as a kid. So if somebody says something, I can crack back at them with something even meaner. You know what I mean? And then also, yeah, I wouldn't give a shit if somebody said something mean to me. I'd be like, all right.
Yeah,
dog.
but I feel like if I had to come in to work every day and I was surrounded by 14-year-olds, I'd basically just be like a babysitter. And like, fuck.
How is that different than your job now with a bunch of 30-year-olds?
Yeah. Hello, Caitlin. Welcome to your life.
At least you get to go home.
Like, I don't have any illusions about how big 14-year-olds are, but I have a lot of illusions about how incompetent they are at literally everything. I don't want to be the only adult in a room full of teenagers.
Totally.
That just sounds like you would basically just be like a cross between a teacher and a babysitter. Like, no, thank you. That being said, I really would like go on a crazy power trip.
You could have an army of 14-year-olds. Also, 14-year-olds don't give a shit about, like, where the company's going, so you could essentially decide what this place is going to be.
Yeah, I could just make it my own. But then again, the problem is that, like, I have to then work with a bunch of shitty 14-year-olds whose skills and abilities are at 14-year-old level. And, like, they're not getting better. They're always just going to remain 14.
They're always going to remain at that
And I'm
level.
assuming if you hire anyone
Could
new,
you
they're also
imagine-
going to be 14.
Could you imagine, though, you'd be able to zone in on that tween market so hard because you would
That's
know
true,
exactly
yeah.
what they like.
And, like, there is a certain charm to, like, the kind of shitty stuff that teenagers draw as well. So, like, yeah, just, like, lean into it.
I mean, have you seen Shitty Wizard?
Yeah, but it looks like that way on purpose.
Yeah, I feel like it's a choice between having all the responsibility and having no responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that really does feel like the case.
But you would... Listen, I feel like the high school thing would be fun for maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you would go crazy.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna... You know, and you can do the thing where 1 year you're a criminal, 1 year you're a fucking straight A student, you know.
Yeah, it would
But-
get pretty tired. And then, like, because you'd be stuck in, for me, the year 2000, it would be like, once you'd played all the video games, it's like new stuff isn't coming out.
You've seen all the movies, you've watched all the TV shows,
Yeah.
you've played all the games.
You've murdered all the locals.
Yeah.
You've been to literally every place in your hometown you can go to.
Like, what? By the time I was 14, I was allowed to leave my hometown on my own. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
My parents
and they
had
said senior year. Like, I turned 18 in senior year because I'm a January kid.
Right, yeah. Oh, right. So it's like, wait, so do we go all the way through high school and then at senior year we go back to the beginning of it?
Oh, so you're living 4 years.
Yeah, so you'd be living, well, for me it would be 5 years in a row.
Oh.
Yeah, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was my whole high school. So it would be like 5-year chunks, basically.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and seriously, by the time I was 14, I was allowed to just go wherever I wanted. It's just that I didn't have any money.
Right. But you could get a job at like 15.
Yeah.
You would probably solve that problem after the first 5 or 10 years where you figure out the best. Because you wouldn't even have to get a job. You would just find the right, you borrow some money from your parents.
The right combination.
You just need to remember the lotto number for that first
Exactly. Exactly.
And then every year you re-up and you hope your parents don't take it all.
The only thing that kind of bums me out is I would have to relive my parents' awful and vicious divorce over and over again.
See, that's the other thing is there's all that.
I do like the idea of 14-year-old Caitlin just being like, just fucking split up already.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, maybe you could just help it out.
Salvage the relationship somehow.
Or
You
speed
find
it
out
up.
Yeah.
Just speed it the fuck up.
Just leave like other people's clothing around the house and be like,
Anyway, I don't know. I'm undecided. What are you guys gonna go for?
I'm definitely going to go with the 14-year-old one. Just because I feel like there's potential for joy in that existence.
At least your life still moves forward.
Yeah, you still get to have a life outside of dealing with that, whereas...
I would also just like quit this job and start my own company where I'm the only employee.
Just be a freelancer.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't have to deal with 14-year-olds and I could still live my life.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Seems
feel
like
like
a cop-out.
there's a ceiling to the
It's
high
totally
school
a cop
thing.
out. I totally cheat the rules. But Tater Sauce ain't here anymore to tell me I can't. Or like I would work with them sometimes. I guess I would still have to be. Is it like anytime you get hired, they just turn into 14-year-olds?
I think so. And then I feel
Good
like if you
God.
were doing freelance, it would be like anyone that you're dealing with as a freelance client is also 14.
Yeah, but if they're 14, maybe I could trick them into giving me crazy amounts of money.
They don't have money. They're 14.
But if they're
Maybe
in charge
it's a lot
of
of
a
money.
company and they're 14...
They have the company's money.
I guess so. Yeah, that's true.
You just,
And now that they're 14, I'm like, actually, the price of my work is very reasonable at $1 million a frame.
They have no concept of
You
value.
don't know.
Anyway, that sounds like a fucking nightmare. I know. I'm gonna go for the high school Groundhog Day.
Wow.
I'm doing it. Doing it.
Sweet.
Wow.
Well, with that, goodbye forever.
Jesus. No, we're not gonna be gone forever. We're just gonna make some fucking cartoons.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone who would join us here for the streams. It's been a wild ride. Yep.
No, it's been great. You guys have all been wonderful.
Yeah.
We're sorry to spring this on you.
Let's be honest.
So suddenly.
We genuinely assumed nobody was gonna listen.
And then we found you guys.
We found you and you found us.
And you listened to us in all our ramblings. All our worthless ramblings.
Hopefully the cartoons we got cooking will be worth the wait. Hopefully you enjoy them.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's
keep
worth
an eye
it.
on the channel, and we will post some updates as we sort of finish stuff. Yeah. Anyway, peace out.
Bye. We love you.
Ooh, that's too far.
Okay, it's time for Sean to shine.
Shitty Wizard!